Hi, my name's John Stewart and I'm one of the Assistant Programme Officers here at Kelvingrove Art Galleries. My day-to-day role here in the museum is to oversee the front of house staff and to make sure that the building's okay to open in the morning and it operates smoothly throughout the day. Also, I oversee the education programme, which incorporates all the school workshops and the weekend family activities. So again, just to make sure that I've enough resources on site each day for these workshops to take place.
My role is a learning assistant. It's really learning and access as opposed to just learning. People are coming to the museum. Sometimes especially this museum, it's a huge building. It's full of objects, and sometimes people come in and there's so many things to look at that it's difficult to actually focus on one thing.
We bring a lot of people in because of the amount of exhibitions that we put on. It's a varied exhibition downstairs that we have, so it brings in different people for certain different exhibitions. The exhibition on at the moment is costumes, so it's more an older audience that's coming along to see that, whereas before with the Doctor Who it was a more family audience. So the audiences change depending on what actual exhibition we've got on. We're very aware of that when we put exhibitions on.
The thing we make here is when you come to the museum, you're seeing the real things. So maybe you've been reading up about ancient Egypt, or you've been watching DVDs about ancient Egypt. You come to the museum, you see real ancient Egyptian objects from ancient Egyptian tombs. Paintings, you might see a picture of a particular painting. You might see a picture of the Salvador Dali painting of Christ on the cross. You come to the museum, you see the real painting. If you're using your imagination, you can stand in front of the painting and imagine the artist actually standing in front of the painting, painting it.
The interaction the kids get in here, when the building reopened in 2006 after the refurbishment, we had a lot more interactive material put in the collection, and certainly that gives the kids and the families a lot more interaction with the objects. And the way the building's set up now, it's not just a museum and an art gallery. The museum and that gallery are mixed, so the kids are now seeing a lot more of the artwork as opposed just to the general museum collection.
One of my most favourite things is cup and ring stones, they're called. And I think it's one of my favourite things, first of all, because it's so ancient. These things are about 7,000 years old. No one quite knows what they were, why these marks were made in the stones. They're from the Stone Age. It's one of the objects in the museum you can actually touch as well, so you can get a feel. And again, you can use your imagination and imagine these marks being made thousands of years ago in the stone, and they're still here today and you can touch them. So I think that's why it's one of my favourite. It's very tactile. It's got this huge story. It goes way back to the beginnings of art, really. It's way back beginnings. And it's very Scottish as well. These things are really only found in Scotland.
I oversee the maintenance of the building, so the building itself is more of interest to me than actually any one specific object. I like to look at, I need to make sure the building's in tip-top condition, because if not, then obviously it has a detriment effect to the museum itself and obviously the objects in it. So the building itself for me is the thing.
Kelvingrove Museum is a very iconic building, and I know for one, 2014, during the Commonwealth Games, I was down in England actually during the Commonwealth Games, and I was watching it on TV. And it was really strange watching Glasgow on TV all the time while I was down in England. But I found myself, every time Kelvingrove Museum come on the TV, you just recognise it immediately. And I think that's the same for a lot of people from Glasgow, is they recognise Kelvingrove Museum anytime they see it in pictures or they see it in the television, and it feels a sense of Glasgow. And again, it offers this openness to history and art and a lot of things that people normally associate with kind of highfalutin and not for them, or intellectual and posh and, or whatever. It's open doors, and it's a very kind of relaxed environment. And it's a good message to get out, because I think once people get through the door, they find that out. So perhaps it's a legacy of the past where art was maybe seen as for a selected few. So I think we work towards breaking down those barriers, and then once people are through the door, they find out that it's for the community of Glasgow.